Mandos, this is the way. Hello and welcome to the show. You're watching Mandos, and I'm your host, Mandalorian, the X-Wing Jesus. And with me today, over there, is C3 Barlow, human cyborg relation and protocol droid.
Good evening, mate.
Good. Right, so tonight's episode is all about episode 4 of The Bad Batch, and this is Mando's Bad Batch Banter Catch-Up. So, yeah, should have put that at the start. Completely messed it up. Never mind, on with the show. So, tonight's was a really, really good show. I really like that. Action-packed, and I think the biggest thing, oh, by the way, if you're watching this for the first time, spoiler alert! Right, that's the disclaimer out of the way. So, yeah, wow, what a show. And I think the biggest reveal we've got is that wasn't Zam Wessel, that was Fennec Shand. Yeah.
Awesome.
That
awesome.
was really cool. Go on.
I was going to say it's great. Even used the same actress to voice it as well. So
yeah, that was wicked. Same helmet. So I kind of thought, what is she? Is she a bounty hunter, or is she an Imperial agent? Because she, that could be the start of the ISB unit, brigade, division, probably division, isn't it? But Agent Callas is one of those high-ranking agents. But is she a bounty hunter? Is she an Imperial agent? Or I watched season 1 episode with her in it again tonight as well, off the back of that. Because it's cool, because I can. And in there she's described as an assassin and an elite mercenary. So who knows what she actually is until they reveal something more, because she's not going to be just in one episode, I would have thought, is she?
No, I think it's now going to be her and Crosshair after these, as two separate groups trying to get them. But it's really interesting. Obviously, the Caminos, they need something to keep them in business. And is that Omega? Is that what they're after? And have they employed her?
Yeah, I mean, who knows? If she's a bounty hunter, we don't know who she's actually working for, do we?
No. No, we don't for sure. But it's kind of hinted that the Caminos need something to stay in business, to show the Empire that their clones are what's needed. So I think it's Omega. But then I think you're going to have, obviously, the elite group with Crosshair just out to kill them. And
the B team, we're calling them.
The B team, yeah, out to get them.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, Fennec trying to just get the girl. Not really trying to kill anyone, but she's just trying to make some money.
Yeah. So the other thing I thought was quite good this week is they're actually looking to be a bit more inconspicuous. So what I thought was really good is where all the others kind of don't look clone-like. They've worked out that Echo cannot really walk around in the daylight hours, so he's now dressed up as a droid. And I thought that was really good. I really like that.
Yeah, I love that. That was great, and the whole trying to sell him to the guy, the merchant, was I'm worth more than that.
Yeah, but not much more, was it? I mean,
all right, we'll go forward now. We'll take 3. That's
but that storekeeper does just basically just let him out the front door. That was a little bit weak, but you can't go around slapping people about and robbing them, can you? That's the problem.
No.
He thinks he's bought something and he hasn't, so he has been robbed or fraudulently conned, So I really enjoyed that, and the fact that when you looked at him, he actually did look really droid-like. When you first saw him come off the ship, I was like, oh, I didn't realize there was a droid on the ship. And then he You're like, oh right, okay, that's pretty good, because obviously he does need a disguise, because
Yeah,
he looks like every other clone except for a
yeah,
little
and
tailor.
his arm key thing isn't really concealable, is it? So
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was really good. That
really clever.
and for them to be able to just drop into all these planets without getting uh, pulled over, so to speak, because they're now scrambling the signal, which I thought was actually quite clever, rather than them just turning up and not getting pulled over by what customs or whoever.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean, it was Rebels where we first really saw the whole idea of scrambling your signal with the Ghost. So again, it's another tie into other shows. Let's bring this idea back, and it was really really good. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, once again we got the chain codes again. That was mentioned as well. Get you know, bring your money and get it changed for Imperial credits. So
yeah, I mean, they're an entirely different planet and they're already expanding. And I think Hunter even says how quick it's all happening.
yeah. The other thing that struck me with today's show is how indoctrines they are into military life, and they don't seem to be able to cope with anything outside of military life. So, like where the guy at the spaceport at the hangar was expecting a bribe, they're going, yeah, well, you said we could just park here. That's all right. No problem. And he's like, yeah, you've got to make it worth my while. And they're like, yeah, and sort of, there's no sort of linking like all these little social things together. So I thought it's really good that they are soldiers through and through, and they are playing on that as well. How they're going to, they're so indoctrinated, they don't really know how to adapt that much, especially.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of echoing Amiga's whole innocence of the world. She doesn't know anything apart from Camino, apart from the base that she grew up on. And the clones don't know anything apart from their military lives. So they said at the beginning, normally we'd just go back to base and we'd resupply. What are we going to do now?
Yeah, and then the other thing off the back of that was how sort of detached Tech is to the rest of the group. He seems to have very little social skills, even within a group that doesn't have social skills. That was just really, really quite weird to see that. Seems to stand alone and go, no, we need to prioritize this. This is what we need. And the rest of them go, okay, I need some. Give me some food. And he's like, no, we've got to fix the ship first. And you're like, wow, okay. So it is kind of weird how Hunter is the leader, and then Tech will override, everything for what they actually need to get first.
Yeah, I mean, not bringing in another franchise, but he's Tech's almost the Vulcan. He's a very logical thinker, whereas Hunter is, he's driven by emotions and instincts.
Yeah.
Being a tracker, having these heightened senses, they're two completely different individuals that their brains work in completely different ways.
Yeah. And so with Fennec Shand, I thought she was double hard. That's apart from the Mandalorian, where she's shooting a sniper rifle at the Mandalorian. We haven't seen a great deal. We've seen a little bit of Blaster, but obviously it's a little bit easier to show off her prowess in an animated series, and it was really, really good. Really, really good. I so enjoyed that episode. It's so cool.
Yeah, I mean, that whole fight and chase between her and Hunter on the bike, and going to different vehicles. We've kind of seen that in episode 2 with Anakin chasing Zam, was it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
so again, another echo there. but yeah, I mean, she was obviously trying to overpower Hunter with his knife, and then he was able just to make her drop her weapons, and that was her gone pretty much. If it hadn't been for the police turning up.
She headbutted him, didn't she? I think.
Oh yeah, she did. Yeah, she knocked him out with a headbutt. Yeah, you're right.
Well, then she takes on Wrecker, just casts him aside. You're thinking, right, okay, what's she going to do here? Bosh, there you go. Wrecker's out.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, okay. So, you know, she's probably better than each one of them, but as a team, I think that's the way they're going to, you know, disable her or get away from her, because we know that she survives the Bad Batch.
No.
Spoiler alert. So yeah, there we go. But after last week's show, we carried on chatting a little bit about a few things, and there was a couple of things that we didn't include in the show that I thought was worth a mention this time around. So, like I alluded to there, I think the Bad Batch are like the A team, or an 80s team, because obviously Hunter's a bit Rambo-esque.
Yeah.
I've seen memes of Hunter with the DiCaprio like that with Rambo's head on him. I don't know if you've seen that meme. It was quite cool. Yeah, so we've got the Empire team. We're calling the B team on this show now. So that's going to be the theme there. And you pointed out something to me the other week. Do you remember? You was talking about Fast and Furious.
Oh yeah. Obviously I mentioned the in Fast and Furious 5. I think it's 5. You've got
one of the films.
One of them. Is it 5 or 6? 6.
Might even be.
But you've got the exact mirror of Toretto's team in Shaw's team, and I kind of got that vibe.
Yeah, you got that
with that episode with the BT-80.
You're sticking again. You're freezing. Yeah, so you got. Yeah, you got that vibe because they're very similar. And, you know, are they all going to face off against their sort of other selves, their mirror copies? So that was quite interesting. And like when you come up with that, I was like, that's actually quite a good thing to notice. So there we go. Other than that,
not pretty face, eh?
The only other thing there is I've got a notice that, I think we touched on that, is that the clones don't have any idea how the galaxy works, other than their military discipline and that. So
definitely.
I think
my record joke of the week though is when they're trying to dismantle the ship and Tech's trying to talk him through it, and he's like, yeah, blah 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 blah, just tell me what to pull out.
I think there was another one in there as well. I can't remember it, but he's a very, very good character. I like him a lot.
Yeah, it's the childish innocence that he's kind of got in this big frame that just works.
He's wicked, mate. And after that, and it was so good to have an action-packed episode back of last week's. You know, probably the worst episode. I think we've done pretty well this week. So,
yeah, I think probably the last episode was a necessary episode just to set up the future episode, to set up that whole crosshair thing. It was necessary for them to tell their story.
Yeah, that's it. Right, and on the back of that, we will say, this is the way. Thank you for watching. There's the Facebook page. Click like and subscribe. There's the Patreon. Search Mandos or X-Wing Jesus. And that's it. Thank you, guys.
Mandos, this is the way.
Oh, man. There's a lot of extra stuff to do. It should do that at the beginning of the show, but it's just there's too much for me remembering that.
Yeah. There's a tongue twister on its own. I couldn't say that.
Yeah, it is difficult, mate. And you know, you've seen it. Sometimes it takes more than one take. Other times it's just like today. It's just sod it. Let's just get on with it.
Yeah,
Deal with that.
we're not trying to be professional here.
I'd like to be, but it just makes it more entertaining, doesn't it?
Ambitious, but
Yeah. Oh, and I forgot. Ta-da!
didn't think we were seeing them till next week for some reason.
Well, they're out, mate.